The Norwalk press juicer is the finest juicer available in the world today. It's fast and efficient to use, and it produces 50 to 100% more juice. It gently grinds and presses fruits and vegetables, producing a juice with no oxidation and 3 to 5 times more nutrients. It's easy to use, it's easy to clean, and it's available in a stainless or wood grain finish. The following demonstration is prepared for the Gerson patients. The assembly on the Norwalk is very easy because all of the parts that touch the juice are solid stainless steel and go right on the front of the machine. The cutter goes on the shaft, the housing goes over the cutter and is tightened down with 2 wing nuts, just finger tight. The grid goes on top of the grid holder and slides in the front of the housing. The round tray goes on top of the grinder. The wooden pusher goes in, and the tray goes on the juice press side. The first juice we're going to talk about on the Gerson therapy is the carrot and apple juice. It's a combination of 2 medium carrots and 1 medium green apple. And what you do is you alternate grinding the carrots and the apples to mix everything up in the grinder. The carrots, you scrub them lightly, and the apples, you cut them in quarters and core them, but don't peel them. Alternate back and forth between the carrots and the apples, and then when the bag is full, you put a new bag on the end of the grinder, pull the full bag aside, put a little tuck in the top, bring the bottom flap up, the top flap over, and place it in the center of the press. Then twist the little lever on the side of the press, and it'll come up all by itself and produce about 2,000 pounds of pressure to squeeze all of the juice out of those carrots and that apple. And after the press is in the up position for about 10 seconds or until all the juice comes out, release the lever on the side, tip the tray, and that's all you have to do to make an 8-ounce glass of juice. Get a hold of the bag and give it a little shake, and that pulp will come right out, and it should be very dry. All it's good for is compost in your garden. All the nutrients are gone. And now just go ahead and drink your glass of carrot and apple juice right away. It will last for a couple of hours if you want to make it up ahead of time occasionally, but it's good to drink your juice immediately. Now, if you're making a lot of juice, you can actually press 2 bags at a time. It's faster and more efficient that way. So we're grinding the carrots and the apple. And notice how we always keep the wooden plunger covering the top of the grinder to prevent throwback. So we alternate between the carrots and the apples to mix them up very well in the grinder. Use the large end of the carrot first and always keep that wooden plunger covering the top. And then only push down halfway until you're completely done juicing, and then you can push all the way down. When this bag has about a cup of ground up material in it, you take a new bag, put it on the end to catch anything that might fall down. Bring the filled bag aside. Don't lift it off the plate. It'll keep all the material in the middle of the bag. Bottom flap up, top flap over, flip it upside down, place it in the center of the press. Now we're going to go ahead and grind another bag. And we're alternating between the carrots and the apples again. Just push that plunger down halfway until you're completely done. It'll prevent throwback from happening. When this bag is filled, actually when you're completely done juicing, you're going to pull this grid and grid holder out. You're going to tap that wooden plunger a couple of times to knock the last little bit in the bag. Bottom flap up, top flap over, and see you can actually place 2 bags in the press at a time. It's more efficient and faster this way, and you'll actually get 16 ounces of juice by pressing 2 bags at a time. So again, you leave the press up for about 10 seconds or until the juice is extracted. Release the lever, and you should have 16 ounces of juice if you press 2 bags at a time. Now we're going to show you how to use the flat filter cloths that come with the juicer. It's an older technique, but some people like it better. You can grind your carrots and grind your apples into a bowl, mix the 2 very well together, then take a coffee cup or a teacup and put 1 cup of the ground up material on a flat filter cloth. Fold the cloth in thirds just like you did the bag. And you see this takes a little longer, but some people like this technique better. And then you can press 1 cloth for 1 glass of juice, or 2 if you want more than 1 glass of juice. Now we're going to show you how to grind while you're pressing. You can actually be pressing 2 bags while you're grinding another. It makes it very fast to produce a large quantity of juice. Now, to prevent the throwback, all you have to do is keep the top of the grinder covered at all times. We use the large end of the carrot first, place it between our thumb and forefinger, and then replace our hand with the wooden plunger. Again, put the large end of the carrot through your thumb and forefinger, keep your hand covering the top, and then replace it with the wooden plunger and only push down halfway. Now we're going to show you the green juice on the Gerson therapy. It's a combination of a mixture of leafy greens listed in the Gerson brochure and one medium green apple. And again, you alternate back and forth to mix them up very thoroughly in the grinder. So here we're grinding some leaves of chard. Then we're going to put in a piece of apple. Then we're going to add some leafy lettuce like the romaine lettuce. You can just put in big handfuls of greens in the Norwalk. It just grinds them right up. A little bit of red cabbage, a little bell pepper, a little apple. All of the ingredients listed in the Gerson brochure, organically grown, majority of which is the leafy green lettuce, never the white iceberg lettuce. When the bag is filled, you take a new bag and put it on the end of the grinder to catch any little bits that might fall down. You take the filled bag to the side, put a little tuck in the top, bottom flap up, top flap over, flip it upside down and place it in the center of the press. If you want 1 glass of juice, just press the one bag. But if you're making more than 1 glass of juice, you can go ahead and fill a second bag and press 2 at a time. Now on the green juice, it is absolutely necessary to drink it immediately on the Gerson therapy. The carrot and apple juice can last for 2 to 3 hours in the refrigerator if you need to make it up ahead of time on occasion, but the green juice definitely needs to be drank immediately. So again, we're alternating greens and apples. When there's a cup of ground material in the bag, we put a new bag on the end of the grinder, little tuck in the top, bottom flap up, top flap over, place it in the center of the press. So you can put 2 in there at a time, raise the little handle, and when the press is up for about 10 seconds or when all the juice is extracted, then you release the lever. And what you can actually do is make and drink your green juice immediately and then go ahead and make 2 or 3 glasses of carrot and apple juice, put it in the refrigerator right away, clean the machine, and you've got enough juice for 2 or 3 hours. So there's your green juice. It's very delicious with the apple mixed in, and it's important to go ahead and drink that immediately. The cleanup on the Norwalk is very simple because all of the parts are solid stainless steel and they come right off the front of the machine. The grid and grid holder come out, you scrape the 2 together to clean them off, bring the pusher out, the round tray off the top, loosen the wing nuts, and the housing comes right off. The cutter you can pull off with your hand or you can wrap a towel around it to get a better grip on it. And then the juice tray comes out. All of those stainless parts can be rinsed and washed under the faucet or in the dishwasher. You don't want to put the wooden plunger in the dishwasher. Just wipe the top of the juice press side and the front of the grinder side, and you can actually lift the tray up and wipe under there if you spilled a little juice over the side. And that's all there is to the cleanup. Now you can leave all the parts in a drawer or the strainer, or you can actually reassemble the Norwalk without the cutter on the shaft, and it'll actually all be assembled by the time you're ready to make the next glass of juice. You do go ahead and put the cutter and the wooden pusher on top to dry out in between use, but all the other parts can be reassembled and ready to go. Very simple. The Norwalk comes with a thorough instruction manual and video and a toll-free number to the factory helpline. And if you remember all of the advantages of the Norwalk juicer, I think you'll decide it's the best that money can buy. It's all solid stainless steel construction, built in the United States since 1934, and comes with a 12-year guarantee.